Your photos look flat, too dark, too bright, or just not as sharp as the scene felt in real life. So you blame the camera, the lens, or the light. But often the real problem is simpler: exposure. Once you understand exposure, you stop relying on luck and start making deliberate pictures. Hey, welcome back. I'm Ray, and today we're looking at exposure in photography, the foundation skill that quietly controls brightness, detail, mood, and professional consistency. Here's the problem. Many photographers buy better cameras before they understand what the camera is actually doing. A more expensive camera can help, but it can't think for you. If you don't know how light, shutter speed, aperture, and ISO work together, you'll keep getting unpredictable results. Good exposure turns guessing into control. Start with the basic idea. Exposure is the amount of light that reaches the camera sensor. Too little light, and the image looks dark, muddy, and noisy. Too much light, and highlights blow out, skin looks harsh, and detail disappears. The goal isn't always a perfect meter reading. The goal is to expose for the result you want. The first control is shutter speed. Shutter speed decides how long the sensor sees light. A fast shutter freezes movement. A slow shutter lets in more light, but can introduce blur. If you're photographing people, events, kids, pets, or anything moving, shutter speed matters immediately. Many disappointing photos are not soft because the lens is bad. They're soft because the shutter was too slow. The second control is aperture. Aperture affects how much light enters through the lens, but it also controls depth of field. A wide aperture can blur the background and make a portrait feel clean and focused. A narrower aperture keeps more of the scene sharp, which is useful for groups, products, architecture, or landscapes. This is where exposure becomes creative, not just technical. The third control is ISO. ISO brightens the image when light is limited, but higher ISO can add noise. The trick is not to fear ISO, the trick is to use it deliberately. A sharp photo with a little noise is usually better than a blurry photo taken at a lower ISO because you were scared to raise it. Now here's the part that helps immediately. These three settings work as a triangle. Change one, and something else has to adjust. If you raise the shutter speed to freeze motion, you may need a wider aperture or higher ISO. If you narrow the aperture for more depth, you may need slower shutter speed or more ISO. Once you see the trade-offs, exposure stops feeling mysterious. Your camera meter is useful, but it's not always right. It tries to make scenes average. Snow, beaches, black clothing, backlighting, and bright windows can fool it. If a subject is standing in front of a bright background, the camera may underexpose the face. That's when you need exposure compensation or manual adjustment. Don't just trust the meter, check the image, check the highlights, check the face. Use the histogram if your camera shows one. It's not exciting, but it's helpful. A histogram shows where the brightness values sit. If everything is crushed to the left, the photo may be underexposed. If everything is jammed to the right, highlights may be clipping. You don't have to become a technical obsessive. Just learn enough to know when the camera is lying to you. Here's a practical exercise. Take one subject near a window. Shoot it in aperture priority. Change the exposure compensation from -1 to 0 to +1. Look at the difference. Then shoot the same subject with a fast shutter, a slow shutter, a wide aperture, and a narrow aperture. In 15 minutes, you'll learn more than from reading another gear review. This skill also matters for paid work. Clients don't care which camera you used. They care whether the image looks clean, flattering, and professional. If you shoot headshots, you need consistent skin tones. If you shoot products, you need clean detail. If you shoot events, you need usable images in changing light. Exposure control is what gives you repeatable results. The business rehook is this: better exposure reduces editing time. When you get the brightness and detail right in camera, you spend less time rescuing files later. That means faster delivery, better consistency, and more confidence on paid jobs. The full article below explains exposure, exposure meters, and common exposure problems in more detail. If your results still feel hit and miss, don't buy another lens yet. Learn to control the light you already have. Share this with a photographer who's frustrated by inconsistent images. Subscribe for practical photography tips and business guidance. Remember, stay focused,